Would you have some tea in a garden filled with butterflies and peafowl? Have you before? What would you put in your tea garden? Today I built a cozy tea garden with peafowl and the gorgeous Malabar rose butterflies. Content warning if you've got an issue with insects, as there are a few close-ups of the butterflies in this video. When I was first planning out the tea garden, I had overextended my ideas and undergauged my sizes, and I ended up having to move and adjust the size of the habitat. Even so, I didn't have the space needed for the other ideas wanted. Specifically, I had wanted to set up an actual full garden in here with patches of fruits and vegetables set up through it, as if the butterflies were pollinators to provide the zoo with some of the necessary foods for our animals. Instead, I'll end up probably making a greenhouse area somewhere that does this task instead. Even if some of the ideas fell short of the actual habitat, I really do like this adorable little garden for our guests. I'll need to tweak it just a little bit, and I'm thinking about changing the border for a stone fence style instead of the hedges. I think if I do switch it out, I might just combine the greenhouse idea and the tea garden idea, as I think that would be a pretty cool thing. What do you think? The pathing gave me a whole lot of headache, but in the end I lined up a food stand and lined the pathing up with that instead, and it worked so much nicer. I also went through and made the path a little worn down with dirt showing through as if it's a popular place to be, which it turns out it actually is. I had originally thought to put up 2 of the butterfly exhibits, but ended up just going with 1, and my gosh, I'm so happy I did. The peafowl makes such a mess of the exhibit that the butterflies are difficult to maintain properly. I've thought about turning it back to the mesh borders on the exhibit to prevent the birds from getting in, but for the purposes of the video, the exhibit is open air. Speaking of the exhibit, I was really disappointed in how little stuff actually goes into it using the layout option. I did add in all the layout options later on as I researched them, and I mean all of them. So I ended up placing a whole bunch of flowering bushes and some plants in the mulched area to try and make it look like the butterflies had a good variety of options to choose from. Still, I wonder how much we miss of the butterflies' habits underneath all the manually placed foliage. Do they land on the ground and mingle? Are they playing poker under one of the bushes? We'll never know. We ended up having a little pause in the middle of building, as I had apparently missed a glass panel in the cougar habitat that our newest kitten could get through. They are super adorable. I'd never actually seen a baby cougar in Planet Zoo before. Now, as for the foliage for the enclosure, I couldn't go too much, but I wanted to fill out the butterfly exhibit well enough, so that took up quite a bit of the peafowl's accepted coverage limit. And I spotted some trees and bushes around outside of it too, so it would look more peaceful and garden-like. I also swapped some of the apple trees around to put a big one over the forage box enrichment item for the peafowl, so they looked like they were pecking for apples. I wish I had gotten a whole lot of them in it on recording when it wasn't raining, but it is what it is. Speaking of rain, the further along I went having to unpause and pause the zoo, I ended up running into a weird bug of the weather where it was just constantly raining while unpaused. It would stop raining, clear out, then instantly get cloudy and rain again. I spent an entire hour waiting for that cycle of weather to go off. Has anyone else experienced this? For the tea part of the garden, I plopped in some vendor booths that I felt matched the theme of tea garden, like the cake, juice, and coffee vendors. And there's even an ice cream vendor too. I gave these guys a latticework arch, and during the rain, I felt really bad. I spent so long going back and forth on how to make these trellises that I cut out a huge chunk of recording where I basically just kept undoing and redoing the same things for 45 minutes, getting increasingly more desperate for something I liked. I should have just stuck out the first idea I had, as it was the one I ended up using. I think they're very cute, and they can have a lot of different climbing foliage placed onto them. I'll be uploading both versions onto the workshop alongside this video with the link down below if you want them. Anyways, that's all I have for this short video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and take care.